Hey guys, we're back. This week couldn't get anybody on the schedule to actually interview, so we're stuck with me for today. But we do have great things coming. Have something going on with the boys in the next couple of weeks. If everything goes as planned, it'll actually be so dope and a lot of value because of the caliber of people that we will be interviewing. So that works out amazing. Again, we're trying to get more people in, people raising a little bit of the standards when it comes to like people that we interview, because I want to bring as much value as I can to you guys. And I also want to learn on my own, on my side. I want to learn from the people that I interview. And so we're being a little bit more specific about the people. So, it just takes a little bit longer, and we'll try this out and see how it goes. I don't really know how it's going to go the first time, so we're just going to try it out. So what's going to happen is I'm actually going to get interviewed by Grok. Grok is an AI, I guess you call it chatbot, or whatever you want to call it. It's almost like a ChatGPT from OpenAI, but this is actually made from XAI. Again, X being formerly known as Twitter. But I was playing with it because it's supposed to be like the world's like best chatbot or AI agent, whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to be very powerful, very smart. I've been playing with it for a couple of weeks since it came out, and I have to say, I'm very impressed. I don't know enough about AI to know if this is much better or if it's the same level, but I'm very satisfied with the performance so far. And so I've asked it to act as an interviewer and just ask me a couple questions, whether ranging from like simple to complex to deep on various different topics based on the kind of content that I put out. And I haven't looked over the questions, so I don't really know what it's gonna answer. I'm about to press generate right now, and I'll just put the questions on the screen so you guys can see as well. And we'll just go from there. So let's get right into it. All right, so number one, this is more of a lifestyle question. It says, what's one daily habit you've stuck with that makes your life better? Okay. I would actually say that, I think this is actually a good question to start with. Wow. I would say that sleep schedule. I think that it's something that I've actually integrated into my life recently. I used to be like that kind to not really care too much about how many hours of sleep I get and just kind of work through the night and, wake up early, even if I get like little to no sleep, 3 to 4 hours, I would still just wake up and do the same thing over and over and over again. And I would like come to like a very burnt out point. And honestly, like I just got really tired of it. Like I would fall asleep driving. Like obviously not all the way, but I would like doze off. My performance would get slashed. I mean, I would become like very irritated by very small things very fast, very angry, like very negative. And so like I tried everything. I tried like praying, like slowing down, like water, food, exercise, but I would still just feel tired. And I don't know why I was so hard-headed about this. Like, it's very obvious, right? You need sleep. I was very hard-headed about it. And so recently I've actually implemented a strict sleep schedule for myself, to get 6-7 hours of sleep. And honestly, like, it's night and day. Like sleep is so important that it's like it's crazy. I know people talk about it and people say a lot, like your parents say, your doctor says, like get 8 hours of sleep, it's really good. And obviously, like it's true, and I've noticed that truth as I change my sleep schedule. So I go to sleep between like 8 and 9 on a weekday. I mean, if I have work that runs until like 10 p.m., that's fine, but I would always like get like between 5 to 7 hours of sleep. 5 is still a little bit tough, but I only do that whenever I actually have something important that I need to get done. But hey man, like I said, night and day, it's completely changed my, I guess, like how patient I am and like the overall energy I give out. So I think that's great. I think that's a good habit that I've picked up. Next, how do you balance pursuing your goals with enjoying the present moment in your day-to-day life? Okay, again, that's a very good question. I have like a kind of an unpopular opinion about balance. I think that is very overused. Like soup, like it's I don't know where this came from. I don't know how it came to be, but I think like people have overvalued balance. Like you cannot possibly balance everything out in life. Like you just simply can't. Number one, because you're a human being, right? Number two, because you don't wake up with the same amount of energy every single day. And number two, because sometimes life just happens, right? But how do you actually structure your life so that you can, enjoy and at the same time enjoy life and at the same time reach your goals? I've changed this word from balance to prioritizing, right? Prioritizing your time with the things that matter to you. And this might be different for everybody. I shook my camera. This might be different for everybody, right? Like for example, for me, my priorities are, work, gym, and church, right? Like that's my priority right now. And obviously like eating, and sleep. Sorry. But those are the five main things in my day that are non-negotiables that I have to do when the time comes, right? Everything else is extra and something that I would have to make time for, right? And so I structure my day around those five priorities. And, some things might outweigh others, right? Like, for example, Mondays, it's actually pretty balanced on Mondays. But for example, Tuesdays, I have youth group at my church. And so I kind of, in a way, I don't what would the word be? I don't know if over leverage would be the right word, but I kind of over leverage on church on Tuesdays and Sundays just because I have to be there. It's a priority to me and it's very important to me. So I have to be there, right? On a daily, I prioritize more work than everything else, right? I really try to have the same amount of time for like, the gym and then this and this and that. But like, obviously energy fluctuates over the day. So, again, like just priorities, like if you really want to get something done in the day or if you have a goal, whatever, like make sure your priorities are straight. And for the people that say like they don't have time, like they don't have time because they work or whatever, like put this into perspective, right? Full-time job, 40 hours, right? There's 160 hours in a week. 160 hours in a week. You work 40, okay? Let's say you sleep 8 hours, right? People sleep less, but some people sleep more. But let's just say you sleep 8 hours every single day, right? 8 times 7 is 56 plus 40, 96. You still have 64 hours in the day. Okay, you have to eat. Okay, you have to shower. You have to do this like little things throughout the day. Right. Let's just say that takes 5 to 10 hours. You still have 54 hours in the day. Well, not in the day, sorry. In the week to get anything done. That's a full work week and some change. You have time. You just lack prioritizing. You lack structure. And it's okay. It's just something that you learn, right? It's not something you're born with. It's a skill that you learn through time. And the moment you start to prioritize things that matter to you and you start prioritizing the things that you have to do in order to get to where you want to be, you will find yourself actually closer to your goals for some wicked reason. And that's because you actually prioritized, right? And so I choose prioritization over balance. Balance is overrated. Come fight me, I guess. Okay, number 3. What does living a fulfilling life mean to you and how do you measure it? So this actually changed over time. At first, I used to think that money was everything and that, my personal success was the means to a much fulfilling life. But over time, like, I've had, I mean, I don't want to sound like arrogant or whatever, but like I've had a lot of money and I've had little money, right? Like I've felt really well off and I've felt poor. Like, and in those, whether I'm in one end or the other end, happiness did not happen because of that. Happiness happened because of everything in between and because of because of what I was able to do to help out other people in those stages, right? And like the thing is that throughout the journey, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to articulate this. Throughout the journey, I've really changed perspectives because I've found that money is just a tool, right? Money is just a tool that you use to, 1, reach your goals, 2, help other people, and 3, help those around you. be a better person and impact the world, leave the world a little bit better than how you found it, because that's, again, I think that's really the point of this life. Like, the point of this life when you reach the end goal is, if you left the world just a tiny bit better than how you found it, you have lived a fulfilling life. And if you've helped out people, if you've rewarded your loved ones for sticking with you, if you have left a legacy for your children, and if your children look up to you and they are proud of the man you are or the woman you are, and your wife loves you and she's also proud of you, like, people take pride in you, you have lived a successful life. And by people, I mean loved ones, right? Not everybody's gonna love you, but the loved ones. So I feel like that would be the meaning of a very fulfilling life for me. And how do you measure it? I mean, I've just said it, like, the impact you have on others. This is how you measure it. Next, number 4. Okay, it's more business related. What's the most important lesson you've learned in your career so far? This is easy. Hard things are hard. I've kind of said this a couple of times over on Instagram and like in videos and stuff. If you think that going into business is hard, times it by 2 and then again by 2, right? So it's hard, very hard. Hard things are hard because if they were easy, then everybody would do them. And the thing is that, like, you hear it on podcasts and you hear it on interviews and you hear like every single influencer say, like, yeah, business takes a long time to build, right? 5 to 10 years. Like, it takes a very solid time metric would be 10 years. If you do something and you stick with something for 10 years and you improve over time, you will, like, there's very little margin for you to fail, right? And that's if you don't quit along the way. And the thing is that, like, you might hear that and you're like, okay, yeah, I can commit to something for 5 to 10 years because we're structured throughout life to, 12 years in school, and then, you have your 4 years in college and whatever. So, like, we're programmed to think in years, but, like, really doing one single thing for 5 to 10 years, it's insane. Like, the moment you actually are in that position, it's not as simple as you think, right? It gets boring. The challenges get harder every time. You have to seek new knowledge. You have to seek help. You have to adjust with the times and with the economy and with, like, how technology is moving. And so, like, what you think is hard is actually harder, and it's going to get harder over time. And so, like, that's just something I've learned, and it's just something you just have to adjust to. I mean, we're humans. We're very adaptable beings. And so, if we weren't adaptable, we wouldn't be alive by now. So just know that hard is part of the process, part of the journey, and it's probably going to get harder. So you just have to be ready for that and surround yourself with people that are willing to help them reach their goals as well as your goals. What is this? I'm already losing track. 5. Can you describe a time when you had to make a difficult ethical decision in your business? So I've actually never been in the position, I think, that I've had to question my either ethics or had to make a decision that brings ethics into the question. But if I did, I'm very, very confident that as long as I'm not hurting anybody, as long as I'm not fucking anybody over, and as long as that decision brings any positive progress into my goals, my company's goals, and, brings positive impact into people, I think I will obviously make the right choice. Time will tell, obviously, at the end of the day, but I have my feet on the ground, my head on my shoulders, so I think I'll make a good decision when the time comes. Number 6, how has your definition of success in business evolved over time? So I kind of talked about this a little bit in the other question. Money is just a tool. Money is not the end goal. Money is just a tool that you use to impact other people. And when it comes to business, everyone, even myself, talk about like revenue goals at the end of the year. We talk about profit percentages and like number of customers that we want, this and this and that. And like, while those metrics are, very nice to flex, it really flexes your ego and makes you feel good. It's like kind of a reward almost. Like, that's not the end goal. The end goal is to build a company worth working for. Like, something that people can take pride in, people that feel pride, like, yes, I work for this company, this is my boss, this is what we do, and we're the best at it. I feel like that is the definition of a successful business. I mean, just look at the biggest companies. Obviously, the biggest companies get a lot of slack because they're big businesses. I mean, big businesses are always going to get some type of like freaking slack. But like when you look at those specialists in those businesses, like, chief director of blah, 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 or whatever, like those people take pride because they're good at what they do, and their goals align with the company's goals. And so like, I feel like that's a culture. That type of culture is the definition of success in a business. When people can align themselves with the business's goal and everybody wins at the end of the day, that is the definition of success. Good pay, good culture, same goals, everybody's happy, everybody wins. I think that's the definition of success in business. Next. Okay. Seems like we're going into a little bit of Christianity. Amazing religion. All right. How do you maintain your faith during times of personal doubt or crisis? Okay, so I've talked about this before. One of the previous little shorts that I made. The ups and downs of your faith throughout life, right? Now, mind you, this is very normal. Like, everybody goes through this. I've been through this. You've been through this. Everybody goes through this. Like, you doubt, right? Especially when things are not going the way that you wanted to or the way that you prayed for. Like, things go wrong, you doubt. You're like, why is this happening to me, man? Like, I've been praying, I've been doing everything right, but yet things seem to go wrong. Why are things not going my way? Why is this person doing this? Or why is this happening to me? Like, everybody's been there, and it's tough. Like, I'm not saying it's easy. It's very tough, and it's very okay to think that, to doubt, because we're humans, right? We're not perfect. And I feel like, as you mature in your faith, you will doubt less and just trust more, because you will have more experiences to draw from where everything has worked out for you, or everything that has not worked out for you had meaning to your eventual success. I hope that makes sense. Like, for example, like if you prayed to God for, let's just say, either forgiveness or patience, or if you prayed for love, if you prayed for success, like, he's going to give it to you. But you just have to go through this very, very deep, dark valley to get there. And I feel like a lot of people are not ready for that, or they just don't know that. It's something that you learn. It's not something that you're born with. And so I just feel like during those times, just understand that it's part of the process, right? Like, God testing you is God giving you what you want, right? You ask for more patience, guess what? He's going to stress the living fuck out of you up until you want to break. And when you want to break, it's the key moment where you just have to take a breath and understand that, hey, this is a test. I asked for this. I prayed for this. And the other side of this problem is what I've prayed for and what I've worked for. So it's just resilience and just having unwavering faith. That's really all I can tell you. Hope that helps. Number 8. How has your faith shaped your understanding of the world and your place in it? I guess it kind of ties into the other ones. I mean, in Christianity, like, obviously we have God, we have Jesus, we have the Holy Spirit. Obviously, they're all one single entity. And I mean, Jesus is the closest example of man and God combined. And so in following Jesus, we Christians try to be as close as to what he was as possible, because he was the perfect being, right? He was the perfect man, did everything right, never did anything wrong, lived up to all the standards and beyond. I mean, he died for everybody's sins beforehand and after him. So it's insane, right? You will never get to be him because you're just not him. But like, there's a lot of lessons to learn from his time spent on earth and the things that he did, right? He didn't only die for our sins, right? He did a bunch of stuff beforehand that led up to that. He was a missionary. He helped people. He loved helping people. He educated people. He knew how to handle ego the best. I mean, he knew how to change people's perspectives. And overall, like, he came here to help, right? He came into this world and left it way better than how it was beforehand. And like I said, like, that is, I feel like, the point of a human here in this world is to leave the world a better place, right? And so, I mean, I've kind of answered this already. you following in the steps of Jesus will definitely leave the world in a better place. So, yeah, hopefully that answers the question. What's one Bible verse or story that you find yourself coming back to often? So I have a couple, but if I had to choose one, I'll just choose one. Okay, so right here. I don't know this by memory. I had to work on it. But Psalms 56:4. In God, whose word I praise, in God I trust and am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? Yeah, I mean, this goes to like back to unwavering faith. Just knowing that whatever this world throws at you, literally whatever, it can be the worst thing possible, but whatever it throws at you, just understand that you're not alone. You're never alone. You always have support, right? Even if everybody in your life turns against you, turn your back on you, don't help you, ignore you, leave you for, I don't know, dead, alone. Like, you still have him, and he's gonna love you no matter how many times you mess up, no matter how much you mess up, no matter what you do, he's still gonna love you, he's still gonna be there to support you and pick you up when you fall down. And so just understanding that, like, what can this world do to you to break you? It can literally do nothing as long as you have faith, and as long as you understand who the higher power is, and how much he loves you, and how much he trusts you, and how much he's supporting you in every single day. Like, nothing, you're unbreakable. You're literally unbreakable. And so, yeah, hope that answers. Okay, so I think that was number 9. I guess number 10. Oh, we're switching. So we're going into more gym stuff. Amazing. What's your favorite type of workout and why? So my split currently is so it's half an Arnold splits and half push pull legs. So it's Monday's chest and back, Tuesdays arms and shoulders, Thursdays legs. Then we have chest and shoulders, back and biceps, and then we have legs again, right? And so obviously, bro, chest and back, amazing pump, dude. I love for chest, I love the what was it? I just had to sneeze. Oh Lord. I love the I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember. The incline dumbbell press. Like, dude, incline dumbbell press and incline Smith machine, high reps, very like medium to high weight, dude. Amazing pump. Even if you like really, really push to those final reps all the way and slow it down, dude, it is insane. Like, it will have you shaking, and the pump after that, it's absolutely amazing. So I have to say that. How do you stay motivated to work out consistently, especially during tough times? I mean, understanding that, like, your fitness goals are not going to get done unless you get up and get them done. Nobody's going to walk for you. Nobody's going to pick up the weights for you. No one's going to run for you. No one's going to stretch for you. No one's going to do absolutely anything physically for you because they are not you. And understanding that to get to where you want to be physically, you have to get up and you have to do the work. You have to go to the gym. You have to take care of your diet. You have to sleep, have to rest, have to do everything necessary to get there, whether you like it or not. Like, literally, whether you feel okay or not, whether you are sad or not, whether you're happy, whether you're motivated, whether you're unmotivated, whether you're not, whether you don't want to do it. Like, it literally does not matter how you feel, because that thing has to get done, right? You have to get to that shape. And so, I mean, just doing it, to be honest, when you build a routine, when you have structure in your life like that, sometimes, like, I don't even, when I have a rest day, I kind of go a little bit crazy because, like, I'm so used to it. But understanding that rest is also part of it's important. But yeah, how do you stay motivated? I just do it because I know my end goals and I want to get to my end goals as quickly as possible. How has the discipline you've developed through fitness impacted other areas of your life? Okay, so this kind of goes back into that other question. How do you stay motivated? Like I said, things have to get done whether you like them or not. And when it comes to discipline, understand that discipline is not a synonym of motivation, but kind of like the opposite, because motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays forever. Whether you feel sad, whether you feel mad, whether you feel good, bad, angry, whatever, discipline does not care, because discipline requires consistency, and consistency means 1% better each day. It means doing the same thing over and over again. It means, when you wake up, you're tired, don't want to go, you still have to go, because that is what is required to do the thing. And so once you build that essential pillar, whether it's through fitness or whether it's through anything, it literally bleeds into other areas of your life, because for that single part of your life, you feel very sharp. You feel like you're very on the go for that. You feel like you're ready for that. And so it only makes sense to translate that over to other areas of your life, whether it's your work, whether it's your business, whether it's your personal life, whether it's whatever. You will find areas that you have to be disciplined on, and you will excel at those areas because you have already, worked out that muscle, that discipline muscle. So I feel like if you just build that pillar with fitness, you will that will essentially translate over, and you don't have to really work on it too hard. All right, next. Okay, we're going to more psychological things. How has your understanding of psychology, I can't read. How has your understanding of psychology helped you in your personal growth? I would say, I don't really know much about psychology, or I think I don't, but really understanding emotion, I think, is understanding psychology, right? Because emotions are behaviors, right? Behaviors are I would say that emotions are outcomes of actions, and then that turns into behavior. But understanding that people growing up in different environments, right? Understanding that an environment really dictates how you see the world and how you act towards things. And understanding that everybody came from a different environment, right? Not everybody has lived the life you have, whether it's for the better or for worse. And, whenever you clash on someone on a subject, understand that they have a completely different view on the world. It's not only just because of that subject, but because of literally every other decision or every other situation they've been in their life. I don't know if this answers the question, to be honest, but understanding that everybody is literally living their own life. Sometimes I'll be walking around and I'm like, dude, these people are alive. Right? I play video games, and NPCs, non-playable characters, they're just roaming around dead. You can tell an NPC from a real player, right? Online and stuff. And so, just understand that there's no, it's not really NPCs. Everybody got up today. Everybody's driving to somewhere, coming from something, going to something. It's it's actually crazy to think about that. But yeah, understand that everybody has a different view of life because of the things that they've been through. Next, what aspect of your own psychology do you find the most mysterious and challenging to understand? I guess this bleeds a little bit into emotions again. Just understanding things that bother me or anger me. I would say I always ask myself, why does this bother me? Why is this making me angry? Why am I feeling this way? And also I ask myself, is this going to matter in 5 hours, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years? And if the answer to more than half of those is no, then I should probably just not care about it, right? I shouldn't, because if it's not going to matter in 5 hours, why? Literally, why would I spend a second of my time on it? And if it's not gonna impact me in 5 years, sure, it's horrible, whatever happened, or maybe it's good, but it's not gonna matter, right? I'm gonna look back and it's gonna be I'm probably not even gonna remember it, right? I try to flex. Oh, not flex. I try to bring this around to when when I'm going through hard things, or whenever something impacts me some way. Ask myself why. Why am I feeling like this? What's making me feel like this? What about it makes me feel like this? Is me feeling like this justified, or is this just an emotional response? And then I try to find the logic behind it, because I feel like emotions can really cloud a judgment. And so, yeah, just try to, again, keep my head on my shoulders, feet on the ground. Talking about emotions, actually, a couple questions on that. So, how do you typically deal with stress? Breathe, dude. Breathe. Yeah. There's nothing much. When you're stressed, your head, your mind, your brain just makes it worse. You're just so overstimulated by everything that's going on. You feel like you're drowning, right? You feel like you're drowning. You feel like you have to take action now, or you're gonna drown. And so I feel like if you just take a moment, just physically remove yourself from the situation, take a step back, go into another room, just take a moment, breathe in, breathe out 3 to 4 times, your nervous system will actually calm down, and you will feel a little more, you would actually start thinking with your brain a little more instead of just like having like this emotional response of like fight or flight. You will actually be focused on the good, the bad, and the ugly of the situation, and then, respond logically, respond with structure, and not so emotional, right? Like when you're dealing with stress, do not respond emotionally, because 9 times out of 10, the outcome will be bad. So yeah. How do you manage your emotions in high pressure situations? I think this is almost the same. Yep, just breathe, take your emotions out of the situation, take your time, however long you need. And if it's like a back and forth convo, like, again, it's just, I mean, this plays a lot into ego and stuff. I mean, I feel like just understand that even though you might be right, sometimes you being right and you keeping peace are two things that you have to weigh out. And if being right is more important to you than keeping peace between you and that other person, and then, just understand that there's going to be consequences, right? Don't be surprised of that. And I feel like, don't kind of like, just don't make a decision just to make a decision. Actually actually think about it. Obviously, now the caveat of this is depending on how much impact that decision has on your life and the other people's lives, right? Either take a fast decision or take a slow decision, right? If it's like more important, like things that will actually make a big impact, take your time, do not rush it, and, think logically and think of all possible scenarios, etc. But if it's like, a quick here and there, like it doesn't really impact that much, just part of the process or whatever, like definitely take a fast, decisions fast as possible. But again, I guess that's up to everyone's interpretation. Next. Can you share a time when following your emotions led to a significant outcome, positive or negative? I don't know if I can describe a time, but I feel like, for example, in business, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself. Like in business, like your decisions should never be emotional, because sometimes your emotions and the emotions you feel and then the goals of the business don't align, right? And I mean, if you're doing business ethically, like how it's supposed to be, like you're also thinking about other people and your employees and like the impact on their lives and stuff like that. So I mean, in business, emotions are nowhere to be found. Business does not care of how you feel. It's just a list of things that has to get done in order for an outcome to come in, right? It's literally a machine. Business is a machine. Machines don't care about your emotions. Now, when we're talking about life overall and relationships and stuff like that, I would say follow pretty much almost the same blueprint. Like the thing about emotions is that we're humans, so we're so driven by them that it's hard to understand whether an emotional response is the right thing or not. And I think it just really depends on your situation and who's involved in the situation. And like, there's a lot of context that needs to be done before making a decision like that. And I feel like, again, like I said, stepping back, breathing, thinking with your head, and understanding that, like, it's not just you in most of these situations. It's also somebody else, a third party that's being affected by your decisions or how you answer it. And so, yeah, just understanding that and like, again, head on shoulders, feet on the ground. Next. What's one ethical principle you try to live by? Oh, man, we're almost done. That went by fast. What's one ethical principle that you try to live by? Yeah, I guess this kind of brings back into the other questions of like fulfillment and all this stuff. Like, I always try to live by, not fucking people over, essentially. Like any decision that I make, if it doesn't serve myself, my goals, and my business goals, or if it doesn't help people out in a positive way, I probably won't do it. Probably won't even waste my time on it. I don't know if that's an ethical principle or not, but I feel like if anybody's to like get impacted negatively with my decision, I would probably think twice, 3 times, 4 times before doing it, and probably not do it if I don't have to. Yeah, I just feel like, just be a good person and make sure that your decisions and your actions reflect that. I think that's an good ethical principle that I have. Can you describe a time when you faced a difficult ethical dilemma? Okay, so this basically the same question as the other one for the business. I haven't been in a situation where I've had to like really had my, I guess, my ethics questioned, or like ethics have to do anything with what I was doing. So I can't really answer this yet. But again, I feel like if the time comes, I will be ready to make the right decision. And obviously, the right decision for me would be the right. Sorry. Obviously, the right decision for me would be the right decision for anybody else involved in that. So, yeah. And last question. Hopefully, we finish strong here. How have your ethical beliefs been challenged or changed over time? Well, this is actually a good one to wrap it up, because this ethical beliefs kind of have been shaped by ethical. Yeah, I believe that ethical beliefs are shaped by your experiences and your life, right? I mean, whether you think something is right or wrong is based on what you've been taught and what you learn on your own, kind of the environment you've been in and all the experiences you had. Obviously, people have different experiences, so then their ethical beliefs are changed based on that. And for me, obviously, the things that have really changed me are, overall business experience, overall the way I was raised, my faith, and, my discipline and all the other things that I got going on in life. And so I feel like positive habits, positive experiences, or things that make you grow eventually bring in good ethical beliefs. And usually good ethical beliefs are not challenged in the way as if like you think they're wrong or not. You obviously think that they're right and stuff. Or you obviously know that they're right. And so like I haven't really been challenged in that time, but they've definitely changed. Like, right, like I said, money is a tool more than the end goal, and you should really just focus your life in helping people in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a financial help, whether it's spiritual help, whether it's physical help. And like, again, like some people need more help than others, and that's completely fine. And you as a human being should be up to, help them out. And people can range from like, your friends to strangers, to your clients, to your family, to your sons, daughters, wives, husbands, whatever. Like, you don't have to make like the impact that I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be worldwide. Like if you live your kids, like if really, 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 really bringing it really small, if you're a good role model for your kids, if your wife is a wife that's proud to have you as a husband, if your parents are proud of you as a son or a daughter, if your husband's proud of you as a mom and a wife and stuff like that, if people take pride in you, and if you're a business owner, if people take pride in working for you and your company, I feel like that's great. That's an amazing, I guess, ethical benchmark to live by. And I think all of these have been changed over time with my experiences, and I feel like I have reached a point where I know what's right from wrong. I know what drives me and what doesn't. And so, obviously things may change with time. Hopefully they don't change for the worse, but they improve for the better. But that's it. That is all the questions that I have. I actually kind of like this. These questions were not bad. Maybe we use a different AI agent next time, or maybe we use an actual person. But again, like I said at the beginning, cool things coming, great guests. I mean, we have a lot in a lot of things. About to get really busy with business and stuff. So, hopefully content quality stays on top. I'll do my best again. Thank you for everybody that's been supporting. I know the views and stuff and all the feedback I've been getting is great. There's obviously some negative in the mix, but not everyone's going to love you and stuff. And yeah, I mean, like if this helps you at all, let me know. I'll definitely do like a part 2 of this, whatever, in the future, because I actually kind of liked it. So, yeah, stay tuned for more. Thank you very much. Support if you can. And yeah, see you guys next time. Peace.